Hi everybody, as promised, here's my second video on Are Our Ideas Our Own? And I got some interesting thought. Well, I don't know what's more interesting, the new ideas or the card that came along with them. Because in the first video I spoke about Are Our Ideas Our Own? And I got the devil, so it's no. And you can watch that if you like. I'm not going to repeat everything here. But now I want to know, where do our ideas come from? And I got the Queen of Swords inverted. Take a look at her. Okay, so I also got the Queen of Swords earlier today when I was making a video about what is the soul and what is the spirit, and is there a difference? You can watch that video as well. And I got there the Queen of Swords upright. So I don't know whether I should laugh or cry, but this is the second or third time now that I get the same card with questions relating to one another. And I'm baffled and awed. I stand in awe of how it just works itself out. Okay, but before I waste too much time on my okay. Alright, so where do our ideas come from? And this video's name is Are Our Ideas Our Own? Part 2. And the question is, does your idea exist? Now we all know about the saying, Cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am. But that's true, but does that completely... I think that opens up a can of worms, actually. It's frightful in the context of this question. It's awfully and majestic. Okay, you don't have an idea right now, but you will in a few minutes. Okay, there, your idea just came into your mind. Does it exist? Yes, of course, your idea exists. But where was it before it came into your mind? Did it exist? Where did it come from? From your mind? Because in my previous video I also spoke about cosmological and biological evolution, and that our ideas could predate us. And it's interesting when you get the Queen of Swords in this context inverted, because maybe the Queen of Swords upright is your soul existing, or you existing. And maybe if it's inverted, it means you don't exist yet. And the sword that's in the right hand of the queen, perhaps when she's inverted, moves to the left hand, and that means chaos and subconscious and things that predate the subconscious. Okay, so before I start rambling too much, the question is, do our ideas exist? Because 2 seconds ago they didn't exist. Or did they? Where did they come from? They were in chaos, lost somewhere. What makes ideas? And where were our ideas 5 billion years ago? So I think with the Queen of Swords inverted, the tarot within these 2 videos I'm making is, or these different videos I'm making, is trying to tell us that our ideas are ancient, and they come from different places and different times before we existed, existing in different forms and energy. So that's profound because it has to strike you, even if you a little bit philosophical. If you didn't have an idea 5 seconds ago and you get it now, what changed? And that's, to me, a major thing. Because you're going to have the idea, but it doesn't exist yet. But how can you have the idea in 5 seconds or 10 minutes if it doesn't exist? Where does it come from? If your idea does not exist, where does it come from? Alright, so certainly some biologists and scientists and doctors will say, well, it's a process in the brain, and yes, fine, I agree with that. But do we really understand the mind, the brain? Okay, we think we do, and scientists are now admitting they don't. There is even a video, I can't recall the title now, but the man asks, what are thoughts made of? I think it's something about quantum physics. So this kind of surprised me, that our thoughts can 1 second exist and the next, or it does not exist and then it suddenly comes into being. Or maybe the point is that that isn't true, because obviously draw from things, but what about inventors? Where did they get their ideas? People who are truly original, where did those ideas come from? Because from the simplest idea or impulse to the most complex idea of scientists and world-renowned mathematicians and so on, where did their ideas come from? Because maybe Einstein wakes up one morning and he makes coffee, and suddenly an idea comes into his mind, and it eventually evolves into the relativity theory, right? So in one moment it didn't exist, or at least we think so, and then the next moment it does. And I'm not one for saying my ideas. Say, for instance, I'm going to have an idea about a poem tomorrow. Right? But it doesn't exist yet. I can't accept that. It doesn't sound right. It has to exist. Even the more unique things, especially the more unique things, they have to exist somehow. And they predate us. Irrevocably, they predate us. So if the Queen of Swords is inverted, it means before your soul or you or humanity existed, what would have made our ideas was evolving, not just to make us, but also our capability to have ideas, unique ideas. And there are scientific laws that governs the function of the mind we haven't even scratched the surface of. So, okay, that's enough from me. My next video I'd like to make about something completely different. pain and suffering, and that's a difficult video. It's also something I've been thinking about many years, and I'll shuffle the cards. I'll do that tomorrow or on the next day. Um, and it's something I've been thinking about a very long time. And I have this friend that helped me out with some illustration. He designs music, and he's an artist. Uh, and he sketched the picture I had in mind in my head when I was thinking about the theodicy question, why is there pain and suffering? And I'd like to give him some credit as well for helping me out. And I'll be showing you the picture in quite soon along with the video. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. And your comments and questions below, they are always welcome. Thank you.